Hello and welcome to the Irn-Cru podcast, an American football podcast made in Scotland by NFL lovers. I'm your host, Keith McGinty, and tonight I'm joined by Kev Coggle. Kev, how are we, bud?
I'm good, Keith. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Uh,
Thanks.
it's good to be back on the pod as well myself. It's been a wee while since I've been here, but delighted to be on with yourself and Mikey Brown. Mikey, how are we, bud?
All good, all good. Glad to be back. It's weird. It's backstage here. I was like, I'm always on with Kev, but we always end up having good banter on it, so I don't mind it. It's
That's good.
birds fly together and all that. It's three birds tonight, isn't it? So there you go.
Yes. Three birds. There we go. That could be the
Flock of
title
seagulls.
Before we get started, a few things to go over with some housekeeping. We, the Gridiron Crew, are hosting a watch party in the Raven on St Andrew's Day, kind of as a St Andrew's Day Thanksgiving weekend watch party. It'll be on the 30th of November from 5 o'clock till late. This will be our second watch party, Kev. We had one last year. It was brilliant. We got about 30 odd folk together to enjoy the football. The banter was fantastic. I remember the Saints fans and the Bucks fans getting right into it as the game was getting really close at the end. But it was a brilliant night. I'm really looking forward to this one coming up as well.
Yep, me too, mate. I can't wait to get along. It's going to be fun. I actually didn't make it to the one last year, so this will be my first Gridiron Crew watch party, but I'll definitely be there this time.
Can you really say you were sorely missed now, can I? Thinking that you were there. Mikey, you go with the Scottish Ravens to the Raven quite often for your parties. In fact, you've got one this weekend.
Well, I was just about to say I don't think my missus has quite realised, but I'm at a watch party there this weekend for the Ravens against the Jets. So for the Scottish Ravens, I'm hoping to be there for the Gridiron Crew the next one, and then us Scottish Ravens on week 14. We've got actually our first one of the year through in the Three Sisters in Edinburgh. So,
fantastic.
So 3 watch parties out of 4 weekends for me. I'm not sure if I'll last till the end of the season, but I'll get a good effort.
You'll be volunteering to take the Wains to other clubs in the next couple of weeks anyway. You just rest up. It'll cost you a wee date night, I'm sure.
Aye, so it should be good. Listen, watch parties are great in any sense of the word, when you can just have beers or even like there's a lot of non-alcoholics, but beers you can get, but the food's good in the Raven. The guys there are brilliant, the hosts. The telly setup is phenomenal for watching Red Zone and all the other games. It's just it's a good wee feel good place for watching American football. So yeah, come along, meet the crew, and if you're stuck this weekend or that, then come this weekend and come as many as you want. I'm all right with that. So I think the Raven will be good with that too.
It's starting to become a more regular thing. The American football just popping up and people getting together. There's no better way to watch football than in company. Get a wee bit of fun, get a bit of banter, slagging folk off, getting your bets in, you're checking to see how your fantasy team's doing. And as you said, the food in the Ravens, fantastic. Great atmosphere in the pub, great venue, right in the heart of Glasgow city centre, dead easy to get to as well for those in the west. So yeah, make sure you get yourself along to that. If you want to go, just give us a wee DM. You can message us host at gridironcrew.com. Details are on all our socials. You can make sure you can get in touch with us that way. But even if you want to just pop down the night, you'd be more than welcome to come and join the crew. Yes, Mikey?
Yeah, I was just going to jump in and say, and if you are coming along to the Raven, then remember and download the Crave app, CRAVE, because it will get you 20% off of your drinks and your food.
It's very helpful. Very helpful.
So yeah, Aberdonian giving money tips.
Another thing we've launched recently is the WhatsApp community. On there you've got different chat channels for the NFL for when the games are on live, or just general American football chat. We've got some college, we've got Scott Ball as well. So make sure you spread the word, talk to your pals about it, come and join in. I know there's many people who like American football, but maybe their pals are not into it. This is the place for you to come and join in with our terrible banter and laughing at really terrible memes that get shared in the. So yeah, get involved. What we try to do with the crew is we try to make it so that you're kind of dropping in and feeling part of the conversation amongst pals, and that's hopefully what's coming across with us and the crew. And you're very welcome to join us in the WhatsApp community as well. So yeah, spread the word, let other folk know about it, and come and join us there. Lots to get through tonight. Danny has very kindly done a wee rundown for us. He's been hosting fantastically well the past couple of weeks, so thanks very much to Danny. I thought we'd give you a wee bit of a rest for the New England Patriots hype machine that's been going on, so that's how I've been brought back in, especially after a disappointing weekend for the Seahawks, but we'll get to that a wee bit later on. News from the week, gentlemen, plenty of news for us to chew over. Maybe even spit out. As first one we've got there is Jamar Chase and Jalen Ramsey. Spitgate Part 2 already, Kev. We've had Spitgate in the start of the season with the Eagles and the Cowboys. This is Part 2 then. Jamar Chase, I ain't spit on no one. Nah, I think there's a wee bit of a double negative there, so I think that's him actually owning up to it, which is cool. That's pretty cool. Good. What do you make of that? It's pretty clatty, is it not?
Yeah, it's something I've always hated. Never been a fan of it, and you get it in football as well, soccer. It's kind of low. Don't like seeing it. So yeah, do better, Jamal.
It doesn't matter what's getting said to you. It doesn't matter what the on-field stuff is. They've got to be used to it. It doesn't matter how bad your team's doing, but that's a really quite clatty thing to do, especially when you know there's like 40 billion cameras all around that stadium watching you. To then trying to like brazen it out and say, no, it wasn't me, didn't do anything. Mikey, not on.
I was just about to say, like we talked about it at the start of the season when it was dark, wasn't it? And
yeah,
and then obviously the Eagles guy got ejected right at the start of the game, so he sat out straight away. I mean, I think I said it the first that when we talked about it, and I just don't get it. Because, like you said, all the cameras they're on like 8K now. Like you can see the minutest of things. Just these kind of we want rivalries like this. We 100% want rivalries like this. I think it was Ben Roethlisberger came out this week and he was like, I mean, it's Bengals Steelers. It's not the rivalry that we want as a like hard hitting and against each other. That sort of rivalry with spitting and that is just nonsense. There's no place in it. No. I am actually surprised because I forgot to look this up, but what did the Eagles boy get in terms of suspension, Kev? Was it just
2 games? But the first game the game that he got ejected from counted as one game.
So it was only like the second snap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So my issue that I have with it is there's no consistency across the league, right? And I'm not talking about whether because of the fixtures and the schedule and all that sort of thing. Keeps laughing. But from a consistency, if the Eagles guys get him sent to the sin bin and missing 2 games, which is 2 games of wages for him.
Yeah.
Why do we come out straight away and we say there's a 1-game ban? I think again it just puts into a little bit of a head scratch material for the way that the NFL punish teams or punish people, and not overly sure about how that works.
Yeah.
Second bit of news that we've got then is Aaron Rodgers has fractured his wrist, and contrary to popular belief with the way he's been thrown this season, it's not actually his thrown hand that he's fractured, it's his left hand, I believe. So, will that make a big difference for him, Kev? Check and see the Steelers have got this weekend.
They're away to the Bears.
Steelers, they're away to the Bears.
and the Bears secondary and the Bears defense is playing pretty good. So
Yeah.
if there's any discomfort and he has to quick throw or that, there could be issues.
Did T still own the Bears now that he's transferred over, or does that just stay with the Packers? That one, I'm not sure. I'm sure
we'll find out this weekend. The thing about it is like, I don't know if you see any of he was getting hammered like at the weekend. He was taking some massive hits, and it was like, and the one where he was wincing on and he hurt it, it was like, that was a big hit. And fair play to him, like at that age. I mean, he's puts himself through it. So, and really, does he need to?
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, in terms of the injury, I don't know how significant it's going to be, because you'd like to think at his age he doesn't want to be taking any contact, or he's want to be protecting himself. So I think from that point of view, it doesn't really change much. He'll still be playing these sort of same game. But like you say, at the weekend there, I was surprised how much he put his body on the line. I mean, I think I think he had a 15-yard scramble or something at one point as well.
Yeah. I mean, you never know though, Keith, because he could have just been sitting in one of them sleep tank things, dart tanks for the last week, healing himself like he did with his Achilles. So
listen, mind over matter. Listen, I mean, Bobby Kennedy Jr. They'll be sorting that out for everyone over there. Over to New York, Jets Chris Boyd critical but stable after getting shot in the abdomen. We all looked twice at this when we saw that Chris Boyd had been shot in New York. One, we're thinking, what's he said now? And two, could he run his mouth off to? Glad to hear that he's safe, getting better. We really need to start taking a wee note of the amount of gunshot wounds that happen during the season. Last year we had Pearsall, really at the start of the season as well. Half the Kansas City Chiefs team seem to be involved and stuff like that. It's a bit worrying. We've got to have really, really good insurers over there in America for all this sort of stuff. So best wishes to Chris Boyd.
Best wishes to them, but it does make you think about when you get into the league why there isn't enough people doing stuff so that, and I get that the people go into the league and where they've come from, they can't just cut off everybody that they've been about, but you've got to. I remember when Ballers, the TV show, came out with The Rock about American football, and it was like the guy that was playing for the Cowboys and that, and they were basically saying that it was TV, so it's fictional, obviously, but they're like, he cut off everybody, cut them all off and everything, because it just seems to be, you hear about it every season, and young players get involved in the wrong situations. So sad, but hopefully he's coming through. But he'll not be playing this weekend, so.
No, it's starting to happen a wee bit in FITBA over here. Was it the Spurs players? I think it was allegedly attacked for not going with an agent. So it's weird how dangerous it's getting. These guys, you think are easy targets, they're getting big bucks early on in their career. Shows you there's a different side to it, and of course we saw what happened with the fella for the Cowboys last week. Just the pressure that they're under. So I maybe give them a wee bit more of a pass. Kev, Joe Burrow is back in training. Is he the saviour that the Bengals are looking for to save their 3-7 season? I think they've got just now. Check that.
Do you know? I'm starting to wonder, like, if we'll ever see the best of Joe Burrow again. He's had a lot of problems with injuries. He's not played a lot of football. To be honest, when it comes to the Bengals in this season, I don't think anybody could save their season this year. Even Joey B, if he comes back at his best, I think it's maybe too much for them. But yeah, it would just be great to see him on the field again, and hopefully he can get back to playing the way he was playing before.
Too much to ask in the AFC North to get through there, isn't it, Mikey?
We've had a lot of conversations separately about this in my group chats with obviously about Joe. AFC North quarterback situation's always an interesting one, not every year. It depends on what dodgy shrimp Lamar's had or is he injured, all that. And then the Joe Burrow thing is, I think I've seen a couple of things. Is I get it, the guy wants to come back and he wants to play and he wants to contribute to the team, right? But it's that whole thing of the meme of but at what cost? Because they still don't have an old line. They don't have an old line to protect them.
Yeah.
So he's your star, right? If he was sat till the end of the season now, which I know we've got quite a bit away, people would be like, right, okay. I did think last weekend if they'd have beat the Steelers, and we'll probably touch on that, but I thought, well, they could go on a run. They could, and they could be relevant. But they lost, and the record leans itself to they have a lot of money sitting there doing stuff for a very average. So I think it's a real strange situation because they will lose that band of him, T, and Chase is probably going to get broken up this year because they can't afford to not get reinforcements elsewhere on defense or on offensive line, and keep the stars they want. And that's the quarterback decision that you think from the Bengals. It's like I don't. It'd be nice to hear a Bengals fan's thought on it because it's like I don't think personally if it was my QB, I'd be. I mean, Kev, would you want Jalen Hurts if you were sitting like that and you'd be like, do you want to risk it when your line's not as the reason he's injured in the first place type thing? And
definitely not. But I think it's interesting what you say there. But see, for me, Burrow will want to play. There's probably financial incentives for him getting back on the field. He'll have certain amount of his income linked to playing. So he'll want out there for that, and like you say, to help the team. But for me, the reason that they're not winning games hasn't been the quarterback. Joe Flacco's been playing, perfectly well the last few weeks. They've scored a hell of a lot of points, and still lost those games. So, yeah, from a franchise point of view, I think definitely you'd want to sit him till the end of the season. If you're planning on running with him next year. But I think from Burrow's point of view, there'll be a few different reasons why he wants to get back out there on the field, and I think ultimately, he'll get whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Like you say, the financial incentives for him to go there, the petrol for that Batmobile that he's just got must be pretty high now. So yeah, appearance fees for him there. If you want to go to another, Joe Mixon out for the rest of the season. Mikey, you're particularly gutted for this one.
I just I don't know. Joe Mixon's always been one of them running backs I quite like. I've quite liked him. I think he's been a hard. He has that breakout potential. He's one of the kind of running backs. When he went to the Texans, I was like, I could see that was good. And there was a point where it was like Nico Collins and Tank, and Joe Mixon, and the Texans looked good. Texans have looked like a shadow of the team they were or have been, and obviously injuries impact that. And most of us, fortunately, the three of us are sitting here with teams that actually prioritise quite a bit of the running backs. And from a Joe Mixon point of view, it's disappointing because he's missed a season. And in the running back terms, it's another year they get older, isn't it? And it's the question will now be whether he can get to any sort of level, or our young guys got to come in and just snap up the kind of snaps, so to speak. I guess it's a shame for Texans fans, and probably more for him. For me, in fantasy terms, it's a bust and an expensive couple of seasons with Joe Mixon, but I think there's bigger things in the world than my fantasy.
They're playing tonight, Kev, against the Bills. Thursday night football. That should be a I'm trying to figure out just how tight it could be. We're still thinking it's going to be Bills run over the top of them. Who do you fancy for that one?
I mean, yeah, you probably would expect the Bills to win it. But then the two of them have been really shaky, haven't they? The Texans have got the makings of a good team there, but they just seem to be struggling this year with consistency. And then the Bills, yeah, I don't know what's happened to the Bills. I think they've kind of lost their way a wee bit as well. So it's a massive game for both teams. A really, really, really good game for the neutral tonight, I think.
I think so.
Aye, I mean, we'll touch on it more in the preview, but I've got a few thoughts on that game.
Well, we'll come back to that. Let's have a quick review of the key.
Just before we go away, you talked about the AFC North quarterbacks, and you never mentioned the magical magician that is Shedeur Sanders for the Cleveland Browns. So there's another QB that stepped up after Dylan Gabriel apparently got a head injury or a concussion last week.
Yes, in concussion protocols, that's right. So, I don't know if he's concussed or he's been told that you're concussed.
Well, it seemed like the fans at the weekend were booing and then they weren't booing, but then they realised, oh man, sometimes what you wish for is not always but yeah, but again, another QB. I don't know how much. I think there was a thing at the weekend that said about fifth round quarterbacks and what you should expect from them. We'll wait and see. But the AFC North and the quarterback carousel with Joe and Aaron and Lamar, there's no practices. We'll see who lines up on Sunday. Sorry, Keith.
No, not at all. It's going to be exciting to see. But Shedeur Sanders, he's needing a couple of weeks. Let's see what he can do, because he's told us what he can do. This is his chance to prove it. This is what we get to see. But having a wee quick review then of week 11 games. Big one really was to start us off on the Sunday was the Madrid game. A couple of guys went over with Mikey Reynolds, who is part of our Scott Ball crew, which will be recording tomorrow night, Friday night. For those listening, we'll be doing our Scott Ball crew. So if you have any questions, get them in for the guys. And we'll be looking at the Uniball games coming up. A couple of big wins last week there. Grant King still recovering from that one. That was a sore one for his Mavericks to take against the Napier Knights. But we'll be covering all that tomorrow night on the Scott Ball. Yeah, Mikey Reynolds, you'd have seen some of the pictures that he was sending over to us from in Madrid. Incredible. He says that stadium was just something else. Hopefully we'll get a wee chat with him about it as well. But I've been to Madrid. I've been to the old Bernabeu. This looks spectacular. It looks like SoFi good. The big screens that you've got.
It's just the same stadium with a jacket over the top, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly that. But as a viewing experience from inside, one thing that I thought from the old Bernabeu was we were up the very top tier, 4 tiers up. And I likened it to watching a game of football for the top of the county buildings in Hamilton, or the big People Make Glasgow building in the just off of George Square, sitting at the top of that, looking straight down at a game of football, and it was a weird angle to watch it. This one looks as if it's a wee bit more viewer friendly, but the pictures that were coming out from it certainly looked a lot more exciting than the game tended to be as well. Commanders 13 and the Dolphins 16. An overtime win for the Dolphins there. Is Mike McDaniels maybe doing enough to save his job here for the next season there, Kev, do you think?
Who knows? Who knows what the owners of the Dolphins have gone through their head. I think most people expected them to be gone by now. the record this season isn't great. But then again, I think their schedule's not the worst over the next few weeks, and they could end up finishing with a respectable record this year. I don't know if it was my team, I think I'd want to move on. I think we're not seeing anything different. We're not seeing any progress. But I don't know what kind of conversations they're having behind the scenes.
One thing they kept mentioning on the TV last week when the game was on was just how good a play caller Mike McDaniel is, and I thought that was. I don't know if they were trying to big him up for his next job and try to get him in somewhere pretty quickly. But that's something that they just kept repeating, just how good a play caller. Is that maybe something that's going in his favour? They parted ways with Chris Greer. So maybe the change of GM will be enough to hopefully change the fortunes of the Dolphins.
You would think I'll jump in here and say that you'd think if he was such a good play caller, he would have scored more than 13 in normal time, which is an offensive guru in mind. And you don't see Sean McVay having that sort of. You don't see Shanahan really often having that sort of thing as that trio of guys. There's a few things for me about the Madrid weekend. Unfortunately, I don't think the NFL thought they would have had 2, 3, and 7 teams going there, right?
Yeah.
No.
Which was really disappointing. The game, they kept mentioning on commentary about the fact that, this is so reminiscent of the game where the last time the Commanders were here and they drew against the Bengals in Wembley. I was at that game. It was chronic. The fact that the Bengals missed and they drew was like, that was the only good thing that I liked about it. Worryingly for me is as good as the Bernabeu looked, and what I do hope is a lot of the NFL teams see the technology that Tottenham has and see the technology that Real Madrid have for their stadiums, and they implement it and get real turf and similar sort of scenarios for their stadiums. I mean, the stadiums in America are billions of dollars. Spend it and have the same as what the Real and all these guys have got because it's worth it.
Yep.
I do have a slight worry though that apparently the whole Madrid thing in terms of the buzz from the Spanish people was limited. Whereas the German games have been massively overstocked with German people, the English games, all the Brazilians and everything. The reports I've seen at the weekend is most of the people who were there were Americans who'd flown in or Europeans who'd flown in, and there wasn't as many locals. So whether that was the teams, which is worrying because the Dolphins and the Commanders are the 2 Spanish teams.
Yeah.
So I would be surprised if they jump back to Madrid anytime soon. They might try in Scotland.
Hopefully.
They might try and try other places, which I would hope to see where they're getting local people and local, because these games are good when it's a spectacle and all that, and the guys are coming in, etc. But I mean, for me, watching the 2 international series games back to back, the Berlin game to the Spanish one, apart from Real Madrid and the stadium, the Berlin game looked unreal. Yeah. The atmosphere looked unbelievable, and Germany has got a lot of good American
football. It's
got
a long history. It has. It's got a long history. They maybe misjudged it by staging this game in Madrid when it was the Catalan Dragons. I
think timing as well, though. Timing in that's no. I mean, I think they should have put the Madrid game earlier in the season. Like anybody's been to Madrid in November, it's not a great place. It's not. It's freezing. I mean, I went a long time ago following football, and it was Baltic. The game itself though was dour. It felt like it went on for ages. It felt like it wasn't. I mean, Devon Aishin with 5.7 yards of carry is good, but they weren't really doing anything. I mean, the crazy thing that I can't believe is that the Dolphins, after the start in the season they're having, is that some people are saying that they're still in the playoff picture, which Kev shaking his head. I'm agreeing with you, Kev. I'm like, no chance.
You've got to win out. That's the thing.
But
the
I mean, they've had some crazy results, but then I think the league's just a crazy league this year. So never know.
Yeah, 3-7 for the Finns so far. Whether
4
they
and
can
7.
win out and get
They're 4
a
and 7 now.
10-7 season, I don't think so, and I don't know if that will be enough to save either Tua, McDaniel, or both of them, possibly. Both of them, depending.
From a Commanders, though, Dan Quinn looked better with the play call and the defense. Their defense looked better with Dan Quinn doing the calling. So I think we'll probably see that slightly improve the Commanders.
From the 6 o'clock games, one of the standout ones was the Bucks at the Bills. It was a real slog for most of the game, but then in the end, Josh Allen with his 6 touchdowns just won out there. 44-32, the Bills won. Kev, did you catch much of this game? It seemed a real. We're massive Baker fans on the crew. I was watching a wee clip of him before I come on here tonight, and it was good to see them going for it. And that just seems to be the story of their season, just going toe to toe, whoever they're playing. But the wee bit of quality from Josh Allen seemed to just take over in the final quarter.
Yeah, it was. I think it was everything it cracked up to be that game. Two good teams, a lot of people looking forward to it, and yeah, like you say, Josh Allen pretty much put the team on his back, got them the victory, and it's just, I think from a Bills point of view, just with the record they're sitting on right now, I think from a fan's point of view, you'd be hoping to see them be a bit more convincing, win games a bit more comfortably. But yeah, it was a tough game. So fair play to them for getting the dub.
The defense for the Bills, you worried, Mikey, that they're still shipping out like 30 odd points. They conceded 30 points to the Finns a couple of weeks ago as well.
The concern I have with the Bills, this is the first game where they've had multiple turnovers and they actually won this season. So Josh Allen did proverbially put the team on his back. They're lacking. Their tight ends are injured. Kieran Coleman's been missing. The worry is that Josh is doing too much. The defense isn't creating enough. And I mean, if they were creating enough, they would have kept that score down and it would have been managed. It just feels, the easiest way to describe that game was, it just felt manic. It just felt like we know it's got to be a shootout, so we'll just shoot out. I mean, that's pretty much been the Bills since game 1 of the season. I mean, they were 16 points down or whatever it was against the Ravens, and they were dead. Like they were gone, and then all of a sudden they win that game. The end, and it feels like that's been them all season. We need to score 40 to win. And it's a bit like, I think we've talked about it before. It's a bit like when the Bengals are like that. It's like we don't trust our defense, and yeah, I mean, I kind of thought it would be Baker and that, but the Bills just outlasted them. But it's
3 times this season the Bills have hit the 40 points in their games.
Their special teams was really good at the weekend as well, which I know we're talking about their defense. I mean, special teams were like big kick returns, etc., and their kicker helped them get in a decent position. So yeah, if they could, I mean, they've got 7-3. So
yeah,
they're obviously still behind in their division, so they're playing catch up. Currently occupying, I think, the 5th seed. It'll be interesting to see, because I mean, the Bills are the Bills. They're a good team. They weren't in the positions they've been the last few seasons without being good. But there is multiple things that, like many of the teams in the league, they probably just need to tweak their defense. I think is probably key for me just now.
Yeah, I'm just on a wee look at to see the seedings for the AFC. The Bills are currently 5th. In the AFC, you've got
that's because the Pats are sitting, aren't they? Yeah.
Broncos at 1, Patriots at 2, Colts at 3, Steelers at 4, and the Bills followed by the Chargers and the Jags currently. How they do tonight against the Texans, who are number 8 in the playoff picture for the AFC, will be really, really interesting to see. I think we can. What do you really expect for the Bills? You're just really looking for more good tight end play. You're looking for more good running. Again from James Cook.
I mean, they're doing enough right now. I mean, now it's just about getting wins. It's just about getting wins and getting yourself there. And for them, it's really just about keeping pace because they are currently as we see in the league, there's other teams there that are trying to keep pace, but because they're head to head, so they're doing enough. They beat the Texans, and obviously they have a decent head to head with another playoff team, which suits them well. But I mean, they won the game at the weekend because the Bucs had a couple of slip ups, and the Bucs never punished the Bills slip ups and let them come back. But Bayfield had his interception, and then the fumble allowed the Bills to win.
Yeah,
which is great from them and capitalize. But if you're a Bucs fan, you're sitting going there after that weekend. It's like, fuck, we had that. We could have won that, and arguably they could have. But like you said, there's three games is it this season they've scored that points. They will play teams further down the stretch. I think they play the Steelers. I doubt they put 40 points against the Steelers defense. So it'll be, and the Bills schedules. It's not the easiest of schedules.
Pretty tough. It's pretty tough.
Yeah. So
So we've got the Texans this week, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Browns, Eagles, and the Jets to round it off. Last two games are easy ones. I think you can give them the points for them, Kev. It'll be.
The Eagles will be resting, won't they, Kev?
We'll be resting up with number one slot secured.
Other games from last weekend that we'll have a good look at. The Bears 19-17 against the Vikings. A win for the Bears, who they're cooking just now. They're on some run. Is it 5-6 games in the trot that they've won? Mikey, you mentioned earlier that their D is starting to really show up for the team.
It's for me. It's when the Ravens beat them. Obviously, when we started our wee mini run, and Caleb Williams looks okay and they're serviceable, but it was their defense that stuck out. I mean, they unfortunately came against Lamar, and Lamar was just doing Lamar things. Do you know what I mean? So, but the equalizer is that defense, I'm pretty sure they're leading the league in turnovers, or they were before the weekend. They're playing good ball. They are playing good ball. I mean, I fancied them to beat the Vikings. I can't remember what the guys in the pod were saying last week, but I was like, I weirdly kind of fancied. I think the Vikings are struggling, but I mean their secondary is quite thin. The Bears just now, but their next man up, our guys are actually doing a good effort. So, and then obviously they had their end zone interception and all that and stuff. So, but Kevin Byard is a player. He's a player, and he's what was it that he said? Only allowed 3 catches on 8 targets at the weekend, and Chauncey Gardner Johnson, who was at the Ravens but never really got any game time, signed for them, and he held Justin Jefferson to 5 catches for 61 yards, which is good going from a.
Yeah, Jefferson looked really pissed off last week as well.
Well, it's two weeks in a row, isn't it? It's the Ravens held him. He had 12 targets and he had 4 catches. He then played the Bears this week and he's had 5 catches. That's no Justin Jefferson that we know that is doing all the stuff in the league. So, but yeah, the Bears defense looks like their shining point, and it's doing enough. Flip side, we just talked about the Bills. The Bears defense is doing enough to keep them in the game so that Caleb can get that. Not many teams score under 20 and win, if you like.
Yeah.
So,
Kev, what about yourself and your thoughts on JJ McCarthy? How he's been doing for the Vikings? That does not seem to be going as well as they expected.
Nah, it's not. It's not. I think he's still young, isn't he? In the NFL, these young quarterbacks are expected to come in and just be superstars these days. I did say earlier in the season I thought it might have been a better idea for them to keep Darnold for another year and have JJ sit behind him and learn. But
Darnold, move on.
So yeah. The guys, if they believe he is the guy, then they've got to let him, learn his trade, make his mistakes, and they're not doing terrible. They're not one of the worst teams in the league. So as long as you can see him making progress and you see him getting better as time goes on, then yes, stick with it.
Yeah. Moving on to the Seahawks 19, the Rams 21. I have to say, as a Seahawks fan, this is an absolute sickener for me. I was distraught at how we performed in the first half. That was not how we've played in the first half for the majority of this season. We have been blitzing teams. We have been battering teams. We've been running up the scores in teams. We couldn't get into the game at all. And Coach McDonald was saying as it was going off, we just weren't playing our game at all. And it was great to see the second half that we came back and we started to do that a wee bit. He said himself, Sam Darnold, with his 4 interceptions, he was just trying to force it too much. I don't know if it was the pressure or if he was just trying to prove to people, the naysayers, the doubters about him still, that going up against a team like the Rams, he could make these throws. He could make something happen. And the thing was that he didn't really need to do it. The rest of the team, though, rallied around him and tried their best. We had some great runs for Charbonnet and Walker. JSN had another 100-yard game. We were just so close. That final 2 minutes is the most involved, excited, and gutted I've been watching American football since I've really got into it. And that's how I know that I'm a true fan now, because
welcome to the party.
Totally sucked me in. It totally sucked me in. I've never felt that way about American football like I do about FITBA, where it just becomes all encompassing, takes over all your emotions. You're just totally drawn into it. Everything else around about you just disappears.
Just wait till it's a 61-yarder or even less, and they miss it in a championship game or something like that. It's why we love it. It is why we love it. I said to the guys on the pod last week, because I was messaging in, that I fancied the Seahawks to keep the Rams under 20 points. And they chuckled about it, and they chuckled. Danny laughed because he'd come back to the comment, and he was like, because they were all singing the Rams offense is going to score and score. I just think the sad thing about it is Darnold's 4 picks is what lost him the game. It's the turnover battle was 4-1. The defense played Mike McDonald defense. They were the NFL.com called it masterful. They played so well. Davante Adams had 1 catch. Right, it's like Matt Stafford didn't really do much, and they stuttered and all that. But they are the Rams, as good as a team they are. They can be defended against them. Certain defenses are a challenge for them, and yeah, I kind of thought the Seahawks might give them that challenge. It was close. I would be interested to see how they would play if they played again. And Darnold was a little bit more careful with the ball, if you like. But ultimately, because the QBs have them sort of games, don't they, where it's just like that is. But you can't slight the guy because he's been lights out most of the season. So
absolutely. And if we were to play them again, would they had Rashid Shaheed getting even more reps with the team, understanding a wee bit more, and having another deep threat that we've got in JSN just now? I think that would be another important role. But again, of the 3 losses the Seahawks have had this season, it's all came down to the final drives, and we've kind of shot ourselves in the foot. And when Myers hit that ball, I was saying to Kev before we started that this, watching it, it never at any point looked as if it was going in. It was just totally deflating as soon as he kicks it.
They're the better ones to
deviation.
Miss. No, they're the better ones to miss, though, Keith, because I'll tell you, see when it looks like it's good, and it takes a turn at the last minute, or it doinks. They're worse.
I was looking forward to a doink, actually.
Because they are sickeners. They are sickeners. And I mean, 61 yards is no mean feat. You know what I mean? There's not many kickers out there that accurately hit 61 yards. There is a guy sitting in his house that can hit them easily, but I'll say that. But yeah, the Seahawks were unlucky. They're still up there with one of the better teams. And it's not like the Rams went out and blew them away and with a lot's been made. I actually take more out of what I've seen about the Seahawks the weekend there than the Rams, because that's a couple of games the Rams have stuttered with their offense, and you're like, right, okay, their defense. To be fair, the Rams' defense played pretty well, but it was a good game.
Interesting to see how the Seahawks bounce back away to the Tennessee Titans on Sunday for that one. Kev, come to you next. You had the Lions and Eagles. Lions 9 and Eagles 16. That was Sunday Night Football last week. Low scoring game, but did you just cancel each other out, or what happened?
I think it's back to the Eagles doing what the Eagles do, which is just enough. After those two losses earlier in the season, I was a bit worried. It unsettled me a little bit. Wondered, what that meant for the rest of the year. But they seem to have got right back on track. We're playing good ball. We're finding different ways to win, whatever the game needs. The defense is delivering when needed as well. So another really good win for us against a team that's obviously capable, but certainly this season seem to have taken a step back. I think the Lions, they're not quite the force that they were last year. It would seem.
Yeah, they've went through that. Sorry, Keith, you go.
No, just got to say they're still leaders for quite high up. They're in they're 5th for offensive yards. So that they're doing something right there, and they're 5th for defensive yards allowed as well. So they're there, but like you said, they just don't feel as explosive, as entertaining and exciting as they have been in the past. And that could be to do with the offensive coordinator leaving. Defensive coordinator.
That's what I was going to say. They've went through that play call and change, haven't they? They still outgained the Eagles at the weekend. They still did more yards. We talked a few weeks back, Kev, about the pass rush from the Eagles, and Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins has been a revelation for them. He's been good. He's been great for them. Weirdly, the Lions, when they don't click, they don't click. And that's kind of what the 1-2 punch of their running backs is. We'd always struggle against an Eagles defense, because that run stopping for the Eagles defense is bread and butter. So then you need your Amon Ras, and you need your kind of. I think they were hurt with. Sam Laporta was a late scratch and being in no fit, and he takes up targets. Do you know what I mean? So
he's that passing attack, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, and so I do think sometimes the Lions get a bit cutesy with how they try to play, and some of the better teams, like the Eagles, are just more. They've seen it more. Do you know what I mean? They stuff them a bit more. We've seen quite a number of teams over the years stuff the Lions in terms of, I don't mean stuff as in like hammer them in the Scottish term. I mean like as in stop them playing their game. And when they stop them playing their game, that tends to be like, okay, well, what do we do now? They try a fake punt and it all just doesn't work. But Eagles' defence are, like you said at Kev earlier in the year, when they lost their 2 games, they were like, they just need to go back to a bit of basics, and it's 4 on the bounce now, all with heavily laden Eagles' defence.
I was going to say that's been the biggest part for me, and I mean, obviously there was players lost off the defence as well last year and even during the season, and talked about who's going to step up, and I think that the performances of the defence over the last couple of weeks has been the most heartening out of the performances. It's just been the sort of defence that wins you titles. So long may that continue.
Yeah.
Been there.
I mean, 10 pass breakups in a game is unreal. There you go.
We'll fire through the rest of the results from last week. Chiefs. Now we'll talk about them in a wee minute. Chiefs 19, Broncos 22. A big win. Divisional win for the Broncos, making it even harder and harder for the Chiefs, who I believe are 5-5 on the season. It's going to be a tough one for them to get through to the postseason, but are we ready to write them off? That's something we'll discuss coming up just now. Jets 14, Patriots 27. 7, I think, on the trot. The Patriots have won now. Incredible season for them. Panthers 30. Falcons 27 after overtime. Texans 16, Titans 13. Packers 27, Giants 20. That was a great final catch. And who was that again? I can't remember which wide receiver it was for the Packers.
Watson.
It'll come back to me.
That was Christian Watson, was it not?
It was indeed. It was great.
Yeah, just back. He could be big for them coming back.
Very much
could
so.
Definitely be big for them.
Yeah, double coverage as well. Managed to get the ball in. Bengals 12, Steelers 34. Chargers 6, the Jaguars 35. That was quite a surprise for me. Was not expecting them to be such a dominant one there for the Jags. 49ers 41 and the Cardinals 22. The Cardinals season, they're just ready to jack it in this season. There was a bit of promise about them at the start of the year. They were entertaining at the start of last season, I remember, but the promise that we'd seen at that point just isn't coming now. Ravens 23, Browns 16.
Hey,
good divisional win for you guys.
Yeah, just on that, just you saying that the Chargers getting a wee bit manhandled for the Jags is interesting, because the Chargers are sitting pretty and where they are in a decent and they have to watch because they've lost a couple of starters in the row line, and they might slide. They might slide in that, and a loss to the Jags handily, who the Jags are a lucky bag team. It depends what team wants to show up every week. That might be a key result. Obviously, the Jags sitting on the edge of playoff as well. That's interesting, that one. I thought that was a big result of the weekend.
I'd assume then that the Jags could leapfrog them in the playoff picture. The Chargers have got their bye this week, whereas the Jags, having beat them last week, they're 6-4. Chargers are 7-4. So you'd think they'd overtake them then if they get a good result this weekend.
It definitely helped the Jags' chances, if you like, in terms of playoffs, which last week I thought they're done, which obviously impacts the other teams we'll talk about.
Yeah. Final result, Monday Night Football, was the Cowboys 33, Raiders 16. Again, another team that's just looking at to get to the end of the season and start over again are the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, week 12. We've got some key games to have a wee quick look over. Thinking about what sort of teams they are, what sort of teams are the Super Bowl bound, the maybe dark horses for the playoffs, dangerous teams that you just really don't want to play. It could go 50-50, or the pretenders. They look good, but when it comes to getting to the colder games, the later on in the season, when it gets really, really down to the nitty-gritty, the hard, dirty bit of the football season, are these teams still going to be able to pull it off then? So, as we mentioned earlier, with the Bills Texans on tonight, Thursday Night Football, 1:15 Friday morning for us in the UK. Who are we going for that one then, gentlemen? Kev, I'll come to you first. Bills or Texans?
I'm going to go Bills. Just the Texans are they're decent on the defensive side of the ball, but offensively, I'm not seeing it. I think the Bills will put up enough points to take that one.
Could the Texans do a Dolphins and stun the Bills, you think, Mikey?
The weird thing is the Texans are. I mentioned it earlier, and I said I'll touch on it later. The Texans can go and put 40 points in teams. They can all of a sudden just click, and their defense leads them to that.
Yes.
I wonder if the Bills play like they played the other night. Would the Texans allow them to take like they did with the Bucks? I don't think they would, because I don't think the Texans can handle that shootout. Defensively, I think the Texans would manage it more.
Yeah,
I think the Bills will win. Right, I do think they win, which pretty much takes the Texans down to like 20% of chance of getting into the playoffs and put them 5-6, third in the AFC South. So I'm like, I think that would count them out. So it's at Texans though.
Yeah, is Stroud playing? Is Stroud in tonight?
I've not seen him. Not saying he's not.
Yeah, I'm sure it's got a wee O beside his name. No, he's out.
Is he out?
Yeah. That's a blow.
So Davis Mills is not.
Yeah. Davis Mills taking over. Also, you've got Woody Marks as your lead running back there, with Nick Chubb backing up there.
Aye, so do you expect the Bills should keep pace there in terms of
scoring
on the tails of the Patriots?
Yeah.
Okay, yep, right, so we'll go for Bills on that one then. Other games we've got big ones looking forward to. Steelers at Bears. Mentioned earlier on about Aaron Rodgers and his dodgy left wrist. Steelers defense doing well when they put up 30-odd points last week, but the Bears seem to have invested wisely over the past couple of years with their number one picks that they've had, and reinforcing that defense, getting Caleb, trusting Caleb, and we've seen Caleb grow into a bit of a leader this year. The scrambling that he's starting to do, his pocket awareness has been terrific. I'm as much as the Steelers D is quite formidable, I'm going to go for the Bears in this one. This home field advantage. It's getting cold out there. It's getting a wee bit snowy. I am going to go for the Bears in this one. What about you, Mikey?
I would love the Bears to get a win here, just for divisional. I don't know. There's just something about it for me that I think that Caleb Williams against the better defenses struggles, and you don't get much better defense than Pittsburgh Steelers. They can still be relevant, and Rodgers can still navigate games. I mean, even if Rodgers somehow doesn't, and Mason Rudolph comes in, it's not like Mason Rudolph is. We just mentioned there, like Texans. I mean, Mason Rudolph's won games for the Steelers previously, right? He's got decent experience. So, and they still have that running game. They've still got the stuff from the Steelers. So I think it's a win-win for me. I'll say the Steelers will win, and if they don't, then hey. But I think they will. But I think it'll be their defense will lean, and Caleb and that might struggle.
Yeah, Steelers are third in the sacks table this season with 33, behind the Denver Broncos who've got 49 and the Atlanta Falcons who've got 34. So could be interesting to see how much pressure they actually get to Caleb. What do you think yourself, Kev?
Sorry to jump in, Kev. I was just going to say, Caleb got pressured a lot by the Vikings last weekend and done all right. So he's pretty good against pressure. So, anyway, sorry, Kev.
No. My opinion on this one is very similar to Mikey's. I think when you said about how the Bears have got to where they are, the way they're building, I think that's a blueprint for McCarthy and the Vikings that you were talking about earlier. But for me, this game, I think the Steelers will take it, and the reason being, just like Mikey said, I think that Caleb's still on that journey. He's still improving. He's showed signs this season that he's getting there, but there's still mistakes in him. I think this is a big game, and I do think the Steelers will edge it.
All right, two of you going for the Steelers. I'll go for the Bears in this one then. Vikings were defeated by the Bears last week. They are on the road, travelling to Lambeau to take on the Packers this Sunday at 6 o'clock. Tricky one. Kev, I'll let you go first for this one. Tell us your thoughts on who's going to win this.
I mean, you've got to find. I would love another draw for the Packers. That'd be good. You've got to fancy. Has any team ever had 2 draws in one season? Has that ever happened?
Check it. I'll check that up.
But yeah, I think you've got to fancy the Packers' home field advantage and the Vikings, and they've got their troubles right now. But these divisional games are never that straightforward. So yeah, I think I'll just lean towards the Packers. I think they'll edge it.
Okay, gone for the Packers there, Mikey.
I'm cheesehead this weekend. I think McCarthy's struggles. He's ranked last in completion percentage. He's second to last in passing yards per game. He's and it's not his fault. He's just. I will say the Green Bay team, I thought, who were week 2, I was tipping them for a Super Bowl. Keith, I'm like, they're miles off of it. Off of it. Injuries have not helped, but I think at Lambeau, this time of year, it's their wheelhouse. I think they'll. I think the Packers will beat the Vikings, which sadly probably then means that the Vikings are definitely kind of done for the year.
Yep, they're done. Kev, I think it must be our influence on us, on Mikey here. He's going green with us there for that one, because I'm going to go for the Packers too. Coincidentally, there have been it's happened 5 times where there's been 2 draws in a season, but that's not been the same teams. 86, 97, 2016, 2018 and 2022. There's been 2 drawn games in a season.
But there's never been one team involved in 2 of those games, no?
Not that I can see. If anyone finds out, they can message into us at
that's fine. I'm tipping the draw then. I want Packers to become the first
team. Colts at Chief. This is a massive game for the Chiefs. So I mentioned we'd get onto it a wee bit earlier. The Chiefs this season 5-5. I think they are. I'll check, make sure of that just now. But
they
have been performing better than they did last season, but last season they just had a way of eking out results in one-score games. That's not happened this season, and they just don't look as ruthless as they have done in previous years. Studs of the crew will be absolutely gutting yourself laughing at this, but is it time for us to write off the Chiefs for the season? We've got 7 weeks to go. Chiefs have had their bye, I'm pretty sure. I'll check just now. But Mikey, is this time that we finally write off the Chiefs?
No. You write off the Chiefs at your peril, right? And Studs, I've spoke with Studs enough that even when he was telling me we were 17-0 and they nearly done it and they go all the way, I'm like, right, okay, I'll listen, I'll believe him, right? So though he's not here, I'll believe him. Yes, the Chiefs probably need to win 6 out of the next 7 games. Their head-to-heads with the Chargers and the Broncos has them sitting on the outside of the playoffs. I mean, if the Chiefs don't win, their chances of getting to playoffs are 30%. And I mean, even if they win, they're only at 57%. So they're on the limit there anyway, right? As the current 9 seed. What will happen this weekend will be determined on what Daniel Jones shows up. The last 2 games, he has thrown picks, 6 fumbles, 3 of them lost. And the Chiefs have held key running backs to less than so many yards, less than 60, 70 yards this year. So if Jonathan Taylor cannot get going and Danny Dimes appears instead of Indiana Jones, the Chiefs are winning this, despite it being at the Colts. I think if they get a sliver of any sort of Patrick Mahomes and that, will turn up a gear. Uncharacteristically, I didn't think the Chiefs played that great last weekend against the Broncos. So, but yeah, I say this quietly because I'm not really sure who the Colts have really had a good dealing game against. But they're sitting in the position they are. The Colts remind me, sadly, of like the Steelers a few years ago when they were 11-0. And then they just done this. The Jags done it. Remember the year the Jags were like that and then they missed it and stuff. There's always a team.
Eagles did that not long ago, Kev.
I was going to say that was like us a couple of seasons back as well. Flying and then just faded and just sneaked into the playoffs and get stuffed by the Bucks in the first game. So yeah, I can see what you're saying about the Colts. I think I've raised doubts myself about their longevity this season. How far they can go, but. For me, on this game, I think they've got one more win in them. I think I'm going to say it right here, right now. Hopefully, there's no Chiefs fans coming to the watch party because I'm writing them off. For me, this is the season where they slip back. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think the Colts will beat them this weekend, and yeah, it'll be too much to claw back.
Well, it's a massive week for the Chiefs because they've got the Colts on Sunday, and then on Thursday night for Thanksgiving they are playing the Cowboys. So, massive week for
a Cowboys team that are looking pretty handy.
Yeah.
So
scoring 20 points.
Yeah. So, what are you saying, Keith? Did you say for this
I'm
game?
going to go. Do you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to go Chiefs for this one, but I don't think that they're going to make the playoffs. I think they'll get beat on Thursday by the Cowboys. I think this will be like a wee mini rise for them just before the death breath comes on Thursday. I think that will be the end of their season, Thursday night coming. I think Daniel Jones will play well. I don't think it's going to be another downward trend from him. I think he'll have a good performance, but I think Chiefs being at home, especially after the defeat to the Broncos. I think their fans are just going to get behind them. That's going to raise the game for the team, but they're just not quite there this year. Right.
Yeah.
Good.
Two Chiefs, 1 Colts. Let's see. It should be good.
Bucks and Rams. Let's fire through. These ones will be a bit quicker now then, gents. Let's see. We've got the Bucks at the Rams. Rams to continue on, or are we going for another shootout in this one, Kev?
I think the Rams should win that one. I'm hoping for a shootout. It'd be good to watch. I'd love it if Baker could pull it off, get the Bucks a win. That's that. If I was going with my heart, I would be saying Bucks win, but I think the Rams will take it.
Mikey, before we came on, I said I was watching a wee bit of Baker, and he was talking about the time that he spent. Those 5 games that he played with the Rams a couple of seasons ago. He says it helped him rediscover his love for the game. He understood what type of team that he wanted to play in, and what type of style of football he wanted to play, and what was suited him. And he credited that to Sean McVay and many of the other coaches that are there. Since left, you've got Raheem Morris is away to the Texans. You've got your man at the Jags as well. A couple other ones that he mentioned there, but going there was a transformative experience for him. I wonder if he's got a wee bit of something. A wee bit of a niggle in there, where he wants to go back and prove them wrong, that they maybe were a bit quick to move on from him. Maybe they could have kept him around a wee bit longer, but. Yeah, what do you think then? The Bucks got it in them.
I think the Rams will win, but it'll be a 1-score game. So it'll be a 1-score. It'll be 27, kind of 21 or something like that. It'll be a 1-score type game, but the Rams. But I think it's in SoFi, isn't it? So yeah. It's always hard for an East Coast team to go home, although it is what it is. I think the Rams. I'm going
to go. Rams are going to be a bit more comfortable in that. They're going to hit in the 30s, early 20s for the Bucks there. Karen Williams just continue to do his thing. Panthers at 49ers. I think we're all going 49ers for this one, as long as they can keep McCaffrey fit. Kittle's scoring again. Purdy's back. This is a time of year where you want a team to just start to rise up a wee bit, and I'm not quite as happy to see it's the 49ers that are doing it, but this is the time of year where you're wanting the team to just start to begin to click, saying that McCaffrey's been doing it all year. Kev, what are you going for?
Yeah, I don't know. I've got a wee soft spot for the Panthers, but I do think that the Niners, like you say, they're getting some important pieces back. Pearsall's back now, Kittle's back, Purdy's back, and yeah, I think they'll have too much for the Panthers on this occasion.
Yeah, Mikey, I agree.
Yeah, it's a bit like the AFC, with the AFC West teams dominating the playoff picture. I think the 49ers will win this. Weirdly, then means that you've got kind of Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers all sitting. But it'll be. I think the 49ers will win, put them on 8-4, and set them in a decent position.
Okay, going to go quick fire for these ones. I just want who you think is going to win. Mikey, Patriots at Bengals.
Patriots
continuing their, was it 8 in the 8-win streak? Kev?
100% Pats.
Pats for that one. Giants at Lions then, Kev?
Lions.
Mikey?
I nearly said the G-Men. I'm going to say Lions. Yeah.
It's going to be Lions. Seahawks at Titans. We're all agreed. Seahawks. Jets at Ravens.
Jets at Ravens.
Go for it, Kev.
Ravens.
Mikey, I hope it's Ravens, so you have a good watch party, mate.
But it's Ravens for me, and takes us hopefully it's a Ravens that takes us back above the 500. So
it will.
It will be interesting.
Okay, Browns at Raiders, Mikey.
I think they should flip a coin before that game even kicks off and just see who wins. Kev talked about teams drawing. That could be the next draw this weekend.
They should do like they should do like they used to do in the olden days with the two big armies coming up. They should just send Myles Garrett out to face Max Crosby and then see who wins out of that two, and then that's everybody can just go home.
Weirdly for me, I think the Raiders are cooked right, but I'm gonna go Browns. And Shedeur Sanders somehow gets a win here, and everybody's like, like. So let's go the Browns for me.
Yeah, Kev.
No, I think Shedeur might get killed actually in this game. I mean, Garrett's sacking guys 4 and 5 times a game. If he gets to Shedeur, then his career might be over before it started.
The worry would be if Garrett sacks Shedeur and he's on his own team. Yeah, that's even worse.
Well, I thought it. Aye. Oh, sorry, Crosby will get him then.
Max Crosby. I knew you meant Max Crosby, but
keep that for the end of the season clips. Yeah. There we go.
I clip that up and throws it back later.
Garrett's just had enough of. I've had enough. I was meant to be winning on this new deal. That guy.
Maybe that's what he needs to do to get a move.
Jags at Cardinals, Mikey.
I'll say the Jags win. Lucky back Jags.
Yeah, Kev.
Yeah, Jags. MD that watches regularly will know I don't have much time for the Cards, so yeah, I think the Jags will win that one.
Okay, what about your Eagles at the Cowboys?
Do you know? I'll be honest with you. I'm not like supremely confident, but I'm going to have to tip the Eagles. I think it'll be a tough game, really tough game, but I'm going to say Eagles will do enough.
Yeah, Mikey.
I am going to tip the Cowboys, unfortunately, Kev. Just because if we end up with a clean sweep by Eagles, we get blamed for jinxing it. So I'll flip the cards and do us a favour. Which is why I'm raging Keith never said the Jets.
I'm just like to see what the Cowboys record is just now. They
4-5-1.
4-5-1.
4-5-1. 10 seed just now. So
two wins this week take them up to 6-5-1. I'm going to go. I'll go Cowboys as well there, Kev. There you are. Cowboys are going to have a hell of a week. Thanks,
you two are gagging up on me a lot here this week.
You're missing Danny, aren't you? Finally, we've got the Falcons at the Saints. Kev, who's winning that one?
That's another stinker, isn't it? Falcons at the Saints. I'd say I'm going to go for the Falcons.
Mikey?
I'm got a surprise here, because I looked at this earlier. The NFL have got, because it's at the Saints, the NFL, all the analysts have pretty much clean sweep the Saints.
Really?
Aye, and said the Saints, right? But for me, we talked about it earlier about Atlanta having, like, obviously the Falcons are in free fall because there's QB and their wide receivers and all that sort of stuff, but their defense are like sack city and creating everything. I think it'll be low scoring, so I'm gonna say the Falcons.
Run the ball. Yeah,
aye.
Bijan Robinson just take it and
just run it through them. I'll go for the Falcons as well. Then there we are. Terrific. That has been a fantastic evening talking ball with you guys. Thank you very much. My voice is just holding out to the very end.
Nice.
I've been struggling the way through. I think you two have passed your colds on to me. Thanks very much for that. Appreciate it. if you can, make sure you get along to the watch party at the Raven this weekend for the Scottish Ravens, and the following weekend to celebrate St Andrew's Day on the 30th and Thanksgiving weekend with the Gridiron Crew from 5 till 8. We'll have quizzes, fun stuff. If you're looking to join us, send us a wee email just so we can get an idea of how many will be coming along. host@gridironcrew.com. That's host@gridironcrew, IRNCRU for ironcrew.com. You want to get involved with the WhatsApp community, send us a wee DM. We'll send you the link. You're more than welcome to join us. It's getting better. Yeah, it's starting off slowly, but there's some good chat. We're doing well there. I'm enjoying it so far. So yeah, if we build it, they will come. So yeah, it's going to get better, guys, isn't it? Kev, thanks for a wonderful evening talking ball with you, bud.
Thanks very much, Keith. I enjoyed that, even though you didn't agree with much that I said tonight.
I disagree.
Looking forward to see who was right at the weekend.
I wish I'd start noting these down actually to see how many I get wrong. Mikey, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure, bud.
I know. I was going to suggest that. I know we always do our predictions. That I think next year we should do a running tally of predictions and do
I think we will.
Points total. We'll do that next season, and we can see who the donkey
really
or the crew is. No, loved chatting with you guys as always. Yeah, thanks for mentioning the Raven kind of this weekend, next weekend. Come along, get some banter. Yeah, you might at Thanksgiving you'll see Keith in the corner with his big turkey suit on. So
oh yes.
I give that surprise away. So,
did. Magic loaded fries. I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to get them again. They were dynamite. So yes, very much looking forward to them. Gentlemen, another fantastic week of football. We've only got 7 weeks of the regular season left to go before we get to the postseason. Hopefully all 3 of our teams will be making it to the postseason. Make sure you are getting involved with the crew. Send us your wee messages on across all social media, and come and join us in the WhatsApp community. It'd be great to meet more NFL, American football fans. I know there's loads of contact and flag players in Glasgow and around, so we'd love to see some of you guys as well if you can make it. Thanks very much for listening. Make sure you spread the word about the crew, let everybody know, and we will see you again next week.